This presentation is just a short review of the Write to IELTS essay descriptors. These descriptors are public. They can be found at this website on the internet. So if we turn our attention to grammatical range and accuracy from these descriptors that we find on the internet, I have to say, first of all, the most common score for IELTS writing is a 6.5. They give you 6.5 as a way of encouraging you, though your writing might even be a 6. You know, it's in that range between 6 and 6.5. And so the question you always receive is, why am I not getting a 7, or how do I get to a 7? Well, this is why people get 6.5. If you look at the bottom of grammatical range and accuracy here, notice it says uses a mix of simple and complex sentence forms. What you're really seeing here is, okay, the types of sentences in the English language, there's 4 types, right? Simple, compound, complex, and compound complex. What they're suggesting here is people are only using simple and complex sentence forms. Now, that's not so bad. I mean, simple sentences, there's 4 different types, of course, but complex sentence forms, now you're moving into adjective, adverb, and noun clauses. And that's pretty good writing. Okay, but if you look up to 7 in grammatical range and accuracy here, it says uses a variety of structures. And this is what's covering compound sentences, right? You have to be able to join 2 independent clauses. There's 3 ways to do that. You can use your coordinating conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs, or a semicolon. You have to flash your sentence structure in this essay if you want to get a 7, okay? So when they say a variety of complex structures, one, yes, they're talking about compound sentences, those 3 different types. They're talking about maybe a question form, which you can use in that concession statement with the problem solution. That's considered a complex structure, asking a question. And third, probably when you use passive forms, okay? Usually when you're introducing your research or something as an exemplar or an example in your paragraphs, you drop to the passive form of writing. You're not writing active sentences. Of course, it's a formal essay. You have to keep it active all the way through, but generally sometimes you can slip into passive, and if you do that correctly, that's considered a complex structure as well. If you move up, basically always, we're only looking at 6, 7, and 8 here, because 9 is off the grid. It's pretty good. You have to understand the examiners too. The examiners don't give 9s because for them to maintain their job, they have to be within a half band mark. So why give a 9 when you can give an 8.5 and you're covering both 9 and 8, right? Because they have to be between a 0.5. So generally, you wouldn't be watching this video if you're writing at an 8 or a 9 level. So what they're looking at, though, mostly to get from 6.5 to 7, it's sentence structure. You have to be able to have your sentence structure intact. And remember, when you're writing the essay, you have to have at least 5 complex sentences and at least 2 compound sentences. That's generally what you have to have. You have to show the ability to join 2 independent clauses in a compound sentence. And of course, you're going to have to flash your adjective, noun, and adverbial clauses. Okay. And so in 7 here, it says, has good control of grammar and punctuation, may make a few errors. Okay, you might miss a comma here and there, but hopefully it's not a big error like a fragment error. Sentence structure, I'd say that's the key for you to jump up. So as I mentioned, sentence structure is very important. Here's just a quick review. Of course, you're going to have to do some studying and know your different types, but here they are. There's 4 different types of simple sentences: subject, verb, subject with 2 verbs, 2 subjects and a verb, and of course 2 subjects, 2 verbs, or you could have multiple subjects. It's up to you. The complex sentences here, adverb, noun, adjective, clauses, those are all dependent clauses. That's the DC. An independent clause is an independent clause, or a simple sentence if you want to see it that way. Compound sentence joins 2 independent clauses. You do that 3 different ways with coordinating conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or, so. Another way is with a conjunctive adverb or a semicolon. I just gave you a quick little look here. I passed my English test, comma, so. That's a coordinating conjunction. It means as a result, right? I can complete my forms. The second one, I passed my English test, semicolon, as a result. You could use this as a conjunctive adverb, as a result. Semicolon, note the punctuation, of course, semicolon and a comma. I can complete my forms. And the third way to join 2 independent clauses is you can use a semicolon, it is raining outside, semicolon, it is cold. Finally, a compound complex sentence joins at least 2 independent clauses with at least 1 dependent clause. That's why it's a mixture of compound complex. But, this can go on. We talk about subordinating and coordinating. That's what you're doing. You're subordinating and coordinating sentences and sentence structures. And it can go on for quite a while. I think it was Jonathan Coe. The longest sentence in the English language is over 13,000 words. Within lexical resource, okay, the IELTS term for vocabulary, there's generally 2 ways to increase your vocabulary score. One way is to use, though it's not mentioned here, I know it's on the real examiner cards. One way is to use words related to the topic. So if you're talking about trade, and this is really important in maybe part 1 or your academic, write 1, or you're writing the letters, general training, write 1. If you use words related to the topic, that's important. That can score you higher. Okay, so if you're talking about trade and you bring up terms like surpluses and deficits, or if you're writing a letter and one of the problems deals with the landlord, and then you can talk about the typical problems that landlords don't fix maybe in your apartment, like the water, the hole in the wall, the leaky sink. These types of related terms or concepts will score you higher as well. The other way to score, and I'm thinking mostly write 2 now in the essay, is more academic words. Okay, so they want you to say things or use, as it says up there at 8, it says uncommon lexical items. Well, not really uncommon, but ones that are, just kind of off the border of everyday use sort of thing. Governments make egregious errors in their COVID-19 responses. Authors exacerbate interest in their novels when they give public speeches, let's say. Talking about bullfights, well, that can be a rather lugubrious topic. So those types of academic words, those will boost your score as well, okay? But it's the precision, right? Like at the top of 8, it says precise meanings. So if you're using an adjective, it really adds to the meaning of the noun that it's modifying. That's really going to help your score, okay? So 2 or 3, but if they're used with precision, that'll boost your score immensely. With regard to coherence and cohesion, we're going to look right in the middle at 7, okay? Because this is pretty accurate what they're telling you here. If we start at the bottom, it says presents a clear central topic within each paragraph. They're referring directly there to your topic sentence. You have to have a topic sentence for your body paragraphs. Some people, when you have a single idea paragraph, some people come in and they give a support or a reason or an idea right off the bat. And that'll work because it's a single idea paragraph. You can get away with it there, but many of the prompts are asking for double support paragraphs, right? So you're going to have to be able to write a topic sentence. It's not too general. It's not too specific. You tell the reader with your thesis statement what you're going to do in the essay. With a topic sentence in a body paragraph, you're going to tell the reader what you're going to do in that specific paragraph. And that's what's important. You have to have them, or else there you go, right back to 6.5 again. Okay. Now, with cohesive devices, what they're referring to are all those words like however, also, in addition, next, finally, meanwhile. These words that introduce sentences, they kind of let your work hang together, right? Those words just connect the sentences and make everything flow nicely. They don't want you to over or underuse them, okay? Definitely with that second paragraph, body paragraph, you're going to have one, an adverb right there that says, however, comma, and show that you're going the other way, or likewise, comma, an equal idea, maybe the same as the paragraph before it. But you're always going to have one there. Within your paragraph, you might use also, or in addition, or another reason. All these words help connect you. You don't need too many. Don't overdo it. 2 a paragraph would be probably enough every time. Finally, the last descriptor says logically organized information and ideas. There has to be a sense of logic, like you're stepping through 2 good reasons, 2 good ideas in your body paragraphs. It has to be organized logically, and they're just talking about the 4 paragraphs and then your body paragraphs, topic sentences, and you step through it that way. That's what gives a great deal of coherence to your work. Cohesion, again, is how it hangs together, so those little words help you make those little steps through your logic. Task response simply refers to, did you answer to the prompt? And of course, you have to know what you're doing with those prompts, just to stay organized. But of course, your meaning throughout the text that you write has to answer the prompt, right? So the second part here says presents a clear position throughout the response. That is your thesis and your opinion right from the start. Okay, that introduction has to be coherent, and then you move to your topic sentences in the body paragraphs. The rest of it, if you step through your support and it logically refers back to your topic sentence, and you have an example that supports your support sentence, and whether it's a single idea or a double idea paragraph, that's where it's at. If all of this is done, pretty good. Even though they suggest there is a tendency to overgeneralize and or supporting ideas may lack focus. You see, they want you to be specific with those supporting ideas, reason 1 or idea 1 and 2. If you can do that, you're going to be a 7 candidate. Again, I'll leave this by saying that it's always about grammar most of the time. Most people don't have a problem with the task response. They can answer to it. The worst cases, they go, you can't see it here because it's down around number 4 on task response. When the answer is tangential, that happens to people sometimes too. So they could get straight 7s, but you went off on the wrong way answering this question. They'll give you 4 because your answer was tangential to the prompt. You can follow MJG Education on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr. We'll be updating that constantly, as with our homepage. We specialize in tutorials for the time being as our website is being developed. So tutorials in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We also do lots of mock tests that include feedback, oral feedback, if we do them through Zoom. And of course, you'll get feedback in a written form as well. We like to emphasize too that we're a Canadian company. You can save 35% if you're dealing with companies that charge you in US dollars. By all means, come back and check us out. We'll save you a fortune. Anyways, thank you very much and have a nice day wherever you are.